Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season finale for the Aniki. I'm the host, main host, only host now. I am a host, Drekkonis, and I'm followed here by
Josh. JoshOohAh. I don't know. Like
JoshOohAh.
What were you expecting? Ruler of the universe.
the
one and only.
The host formerly known as Bear.
Sure.
Yep, Bear's back.
And Tamir, or Strygwyr.
Season 4. Holding out.
And we're here from the ESChamp house, finally. Finally here, we're doing the episode finally live for the first time ever. ESChamp house. Woo!
The last time ever, too.
No, that's it.
Aniki exclusive.
So guys, welcome to the show where we talk about eSports culture and happenings. And today is going to be our where we discuss 2015. Year's done. We've done 31 episodes. This is episode 31. We've made it, boys.
2015, a year in review.
Basically, that's it. That's eSports is sleeping or dead for the next couple of weeks. Most events are kind of ending.
No Dota.
That's it. eSports is done.
No
the only eSports done. That's it.
No Dota
Nothing.
till Shanghai Major.
Well, there's some vainglory.
There is some Is there?
No, it just finished. They
They're
just
done.
finished their season
They're
2.
done. That's it.
Vainglory finished.
Season 2. They had a season 1.
No, it was just.
They just started with season 2.
They got a second season.
It was
They got a
Vainglory.
first season?
Vainglory just finished recently.
They were at WCA.
Yeah, WCA was
I
just
saw them
fast
playing on iPhones.
for Vainglory.
Yeah.
I always find that so weird. Why do they play on tablets?
Player preference, you know. Some people like Corsair keyboards, some people like shit.
This episode's so much better in person. All the episodes should be in person.
Oh, agreed.
You're moving to Toronto.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Why would you move outside the city?
No, I'm gonna move GTA area. Just
No, that puts things like Etobicoke into the picture. No.
Drekkonis tried that.
Yeah,
He's
Scarborough.
experimented with those.
Don't do it.
Doesn't work so well.
Wouldn't recommend.
Like,
10
even
out
if
of
you
10.
don't get stabbed or mugged, there's like other reasons to not go there.
So getting on to the first top of it, we're going to do a year in review and we talk about some of our favorite events that happened in 2015.
Favorite moments.
Favorite things. Favorite 2015 things.
Favorite 2015 things.
I want everyone to have kind of like a relaxed, chill attitude because this is the first time we've been in front, together, and last, Skype.
Yeah. Drekkonis' chair is obviously in the mail. His armchair.
Oh my god, I've been begging for that DX Racer. My monitor broke, and I was ready to call up Nixius. I was like, hey, where's my new monitor? Monitor broke, and then I just realized the power cable was unplugged.
Oh, what a shame. You didn't even get a new monitor out of it before you realized.
Nope. Didn't even.
Oh, gosh. Shame.
So it was just like, oh, alright, I'll wait. So I guess we'll start off. I'll start off with, first. No, this is my list.
write them down.
I wrote them down. I wrote my list.
You couldn't remember 3 things?
Oh my god.
I put a bit of extra just in case I didn't like the other things or if you chose
Yeah,
to
what I
say
see.
no.
Hold on.
That's not how we can do it.
So
We have to-
well, you shouldn't go first then. If you have extras,
Alright,
what
fine.
if we had
Alright.
something that's already on your
Tamir,
list?
start. What's one of your favorite moments in
My-
2015?
Okay, well, my number 3. Number 3 on my list was when OG won the Frankfurt Major. Not only
Of course,
because,
it's Dota.
Well, what did you expected something else? Like
No.
Why are you so surprised? OG won the Frankfurt Major. Brand new team, all highly skilled players. Some have never really been in the competitive scene on a tier 1 level though, like Miracle, Crit, Moonminder had some experience on complexity. But either ways, some of these players completely fresh to the tier 1 Dota scene. The whole team just band together. Real Cinderella story. They lost their group, started the whole bracket stage from the losers, which basically meant they had to play a best of 1, or they're out, and then they had to win pretty much every game after that, all the way through the grand finals, because they started in the losers bracket.
This is after Hitbox
Well,
sponsored them.
Partnered.
Kappa face.
Partnered with them. Yes, the Hitbox partnered with them just before the major. But still, they had possibly the toughest route to the grand finals, as a brand new team with a lot of new players, to step on such a big stage with such high caliber competition and to take the whole thing was really impressive. And it's people that were really deserving, like Fly and No-Tail. They've been Dota 2 pros since the game like launched, since there was a Dota 2 pro scene. As part of Fnatic, they came over from Han right away, and they'd never really seen any like big like first place success. But they finally found it. Two players that were really deserving, and they played phenomenally. They showed like a new face for Dota.
Have we only had one major so far?
We've only had one major. The next one's coming up.
Shanghai.
But just the fact that, like I said, they just formed new players, and then they won the first major was a really awesome moment for that team, and they just kind of established dominance in the scene. And they showed that it doesn't matter how fresh your team is or how new the players are, there's still room for new people, new teams, tons of new opportunity in Dota for people to jump in and just take it all, right? $3 million from zero to hero.
Zero to hero. That's I think that's always so fascinating that they like Hitbox just came in, swooped in. It's like
that's it, right?
Here's the money you need.
And of course, being partnered with Hitbox, they know all about the amazing features that Hitbox has to offer. So they only stream on Hitbox now.
Did they seriously only stream on Hitbox?
They
of course.
only stream on well, they're partnered with Hitbox.
I always wondered if that's what it meant, like the content play we've been seeing this year. It's like Hitbox, Azubu. I just read this weird article from Azubu where they said we have to cut out the blight of Twitch from the community.
Wow.
I was like, that's pretty aggressive.
That's
right?
a lot of blight.
Yeah, no, like, Twitch is fooling people.
I mean, Twitch
4K is the
genre.
way.
Twitch defined a genre, though. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
Kappa,
but that's
like
not like
Kappa, dance game, like
yeah,
modes, chat, like Twitch delivers.
being the first person doesn't necessarily make you like
It's
the
not
best.
about being the first. It's about having those ideas, like creating those. Like, okay, YouTube Gaming came around. Obviously, they had all of those features as well, but it's not like it was their original concept or idea, right? Like,
well, think about BlackBerry. BlackBerry's like, we created the smartphone.
They
As
did.
much as I love BlackBerry, they're obviously not like.
you know what? They're not as popular as they used to be, but nonetheless, you got to give credit where credit's due. They invented most of the shit that we use on a daily basis, right?
But do you think like, could we see a world where Twitch is not first place anymore?
Oh yeah. And like I said, it just takes somebody taking the whole concept to the next level. We talked about this in the last episode, right? Like there was BlackBerry,
reinventing the whole thing.
iPhone came around and there was like, this is nice, it's a good concept, we like what you did here, but like what we got is much better. And everybody agreed. So, you know, if Azubu takes that 49 million that they now owe and and do something with it,
that IOU.
Yeah. Then maybe if Hitbox other than just content. I mean, content is not going to redefine a genre. You're not going to.
That's what I hope people still realize.
I mean, you're not going to win a pissing contest with Twitch in terms of content. There's no way. They have by far way more content than any other platform out there. You're not going to win by buying up content. Like you're farting.
Isn't that what Azubu's doing? Azubu's doing that where they're trying to purchase content and try
Same with Hitbox, right? They've got like the Hitbox Invitationals, like all these different tournaments and teams.
But you have to have content, though.
You have to have content, but like I said, it's going to take something much more significant than content to win over the masses. Like, there's no way.
And Twitch doesn't have to be sleeping when it happens, too.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, we don't want to do that.
But Twitch, though, kind of was in this weird spot where it was pseudo-sleeping because you're like, oh my god, when's the VODs happen? Then YouTube Gaming comes, like, oh, VODs for everybody.
VODs are ready. VODs are ready.
You're like, where are the VODs, Twitch? Like,
just because we've brought it up a couple of times, the content play, like I said, you're farting against a hurricane. It's not... Twitch has all the content. They own it. They've got it. It's theirs. You're not getting... You need some. You need to have content, true. But you're not going to win this war by trying to have as much content as Twitch. That's not going to happen.
Was it last episode we were discussing that Azubu was saying that they were playing it like TV rights, so they were buying like rights to...
They're licensing.
Licensing rights and stuff because they were playing the television play?
They were, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Which is an interesting concept. That's a business direction. That's not going to win you.
No, that's not enough to get people to change their hearts to Azubu 3.0.
Well, that might convince potentially some streamers, some production crews, some studios, that kind of stuff. It's not going to convince viewers, audiences, that they would like to watch more stuff on Azubu, that they're like, wow, this place is pretty cool. We like this medium more than the other one.
I think we're into this space where I think Azubu is really going to either come like they're either gonna figure their stuff out in 2016 or they're just gonna.
I hope so. That better come with a major rebranding too.
But they're in 3.0. Like, how much more rebranding do you need? Like, you went from a Zubu 1?
No, I'm not talking about new versions.
Oh.
I'm talking about like, it looks like crap.
Virtual reality. I'm telling you.
That's it. That's the content play right there. Virtual reality. That's it.
So Bear, what's your or JoshOohAh?
What's your number three?
What's your number 3?
My number 3 was having a Canadian in the finals for BlizzCon of Hearthstone. I knew I was gonna get this reaction.
I was like, Canadian in the finals. BlizzCon. I made it nice Hearthstone. I was like,
I mean, he got totally stomped, but
I thought a Canadian won it.
no.
Was it DreamHack?
No, that was DreamHack.
Oh,
that was
okay.
DreamHack. What's his name?
Hot form.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Firebath. Is Firebath Canadian?
Oh my god. No,
I think he is.
It's not.
No, it's not Fire. Oh, okay. So
I mean, Canadian on the Blizzard stage.
I think it's just you know
Only
what?
RNG.
It's funniest thing. Funniest thing. There's actually a lot of Canadians on the top levels of Hearthstone. I noticed from like the list of
There was 2 in the top 16. And 1 maybe was final.
That actually makes like that. That's a great spin-off to. I love our discussion about Hearthstone in general, and like
It's ongoing.
whether or not it's RNG. That was easily my favorite thing
the
about
discussion is never not whether it is or isn't RNG. He's already agreed
It's
that
the
it
amount
is.
of RNG.
Yeah.
He's already agreed that it is. That the discussion then becomes: is it worth thinking about because of how RNG it is? And then basically, you know, as somebody who plays card games like Josh, you have to accept Hearthstone. Like I understand his point of view. What else have you got going for you as a card game player, right?
I think I think I got some people's Jimmy's rustled when I said just flip a coin to BlizzCon.
It was the way you said it. And people took it literally and like, I got it. I'm like, he doesn't really mean flipping a coin. Doesn't mean 50-50.
Some people took
like,
it
oh no,
literally. Like
I don't know. It's not so much flip a coin. It's more like roll a d20. Like anything above 11, you win.
The hardest of the BlizzCon championship comes down.
You know, it's still like a 55% win rate. Like, you know what I mean? Or a 45%.
You've never been able to explain to me the depth of that. Like how, because you were saying you could train somebody in Hearthstone. Like you could do like a
You can.
Coach. That's the thing you never explain. How do you coach someone in RNG?
It's the same as playing a board game or any other card game. It's decision based. Right?
True,
like, you evaluate your options, you go, I'm going to take the risk on this thing that hits a random minion.
Yeah.
There's 3 on the board, 1 in 3 chance. You gotta evaluate your options.
And
right?
it's not just that. There's a huge amount of RNG in how your deck plays out, right? But
what about deck building? Is there training? You can't train someone to do deck build.
Absolutely.
You can, absolutely, because there's a huge amount of strategy that goes into building your deck and which deck you're going to play against your opponent because they can play different heroes and all that kind of stuff. So there's an immense amount of strategy in the game. But that's the only thing that the game has for it is deck building strategy and which deck you're gonna play.
You were all about meta though. You're like the meta.
That's synonymous. That's exactly what I just.
Okay.
That's exactly what the meta is. It's which deck you're gonna play. A lot of them are cookie cutter builds. There's very little variance in terms of the top decks.
Just to interrupt with that, yeah. So like most of the decks, they have the archetypes.
Yeah.
Where that's of your 30 card deck, maybe 25 cards are preset. This is how you play the deck.
Yeah.
Then there's 5 cards that's flex. So based off what you expect. You modify that and change it.
Yeah,
so
you're like, oh, I saw this guy play this earlier in the tournament. Like, he used this card that was a bit unique. I'm gonna swap this out in my deck. Like,
well, not mid-tournament, but yeah, like based off what you see. Yeah.
Yeah, between events, kind of.
Yeah,
thing. That's the meta game, right? But that's all there is to it. Like, there's no. It's not like the game is determined based on how fast you do a move or something. That's why they added that to chess, for example, where your moves are timed.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well,
you have maximums.
Yeah, the purpose of these events is like players bring out new things that aren't discovered, right? The entire 30 card deck you've never seen before.
New decks.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where they come out. They come out at BlizzCon and stuff like that.
Do people train hide their builds and stuff? Okay, that's a real thing.
Especially their tech choices are.
There's immense strategy in this game, but that's all there is.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, that's all Hearthstone has going for it. That's the only thing. It's just your strategy meta. Like that's it. It's just how well your deck is built, and then unfortunately the rest of it comes down to did you get the right card at the right time.
Yeah, that's the big RNG part, right? The whole part is like
that's the bigger. You know,
but it's a risk
because if you get one card late,
you know what though? Here it is. It's all it is that the finer parts of Hearthstone, the parts that are more pertinent, I think are watered down. like your decision making is. There's not a lot of decision making I think you have to make in
Most
Hearthstone.
of the time, the choices are very obvious in front of you.
But that's what I mean. Like,
Like,
your decision making is the cards you have, obviously. But if you think about, I want to use something like MTG. I'm going to use Yu-Gi-Oh because I know that the most. But you decide whether you put the card face down, you attack mode, defense mode, traps, like how those cards play in. Like,
there's none of that.
Like, so to me,
It's
like
scripted, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it is very kind of scripted.
It's like, oh, I drew this card. Well, then this is my clearly best option. This is what I gotta go with.
Like, because I don't feel like there's a lot of combos in. Like, there are combos in, but I feel like Blizzard goes like way out of their way to make sure that those combos don't last.
No, there won't
very
be.
long.
Did Yu-Gi-Oh have infinite combos when you played?
Not when I played.
I don't
Like-
know the Yu-Gi-Oh meta, but like Magic has infinite combos, and like when you're
How
sitting,
is it infinite? Can't the person be dead by the time
like
they
when you're
go?
sitting across the table with someone, and you're like, okay, and I'm gonna do this, tap their card 35 times, and like, all right, I can.
Those are the kind of combos
I can do this indefinitely. Like, do you accept that I won, or are we just gonna sit here and I'm gonna do this for 30 minutes? Like, they don't take that because it's not fun to sit across and see that happen.
I don't know, dude. That's like the kind of strategy that I think you have to have in a game where like if you snooze
absolutely.
if you snooze into a death trap like that, then, you know.
I think the best card was the one in Magic Gathering. I think it's like the one where you rip up and you're like you throw it on.
that was a joke set, but yeah.
That was like
Hilarious.
the best
There's
card
something
ever.
like where the pieces land.
Yeah, and like everything destroyed, and just guys got like the word wrecked could not like pop up on that screen fast
No,
enough.
but
Not
honestly,
a legal card.
Every game needs a huge strategy, which I believe Hearthstone has. It just doesn't. There's nothing else. Like, what else can you do? That's it. There's what the rest is RNG, and that's the problem.
It's really tough because it's
It's not like, oh, I got screwed by RNG, but you know what?
The
I'm
cards
the
are
better
pretty,
mechanical. I'm the better mechanical player.
Smartest.
I'm gonna outplay you. There's no I outplayed you, and it's either I out RNG'd you or I out strategied you. Only one of those you control.
Wouldn't you say the out strategy is part of like outplaying them though?
But that's what I'm saying. That's the only way to outplay. You can't be a better mechanical player. You can't have better combos. You can't.
You can make better decisions, right? Like
That's what we were saying. The decision making is very shallow. Like,
Yes.
I would say 60% of it is your deck. All right, so you want to line your net decking. That's 55% that's done for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
The rest of it's all execution. If you're a dumb person, you just play on curve. You just play. Oh, it's 4 mana. I'm gonna play my 4 mana guy. I have 5 mana. I'm gonna play my 5 mana guy.
But it's actually how do you deal with what you have.
Sometimes that's like the best thing to do. But those corner case situations that come up, you go, oh, he's playing this deck. He could have this next turn, so I should probably play this turn.
See,
if
what
he
I
doesn't
would
play,
want-
then I play this, and then you got to think 3 or 4 turns ahead sometimes.
Okay, so
right?
that's the thing though. That's what I question about the 3 and 4 turns. How? Because to me, when I think about a card game like MTG or even like Yu-Gi-Oh, you would set cards up to pull different cards up specifically. So you set your deck the way you want. You pull it and you're like, oh, look for all mermaid cards, place them in. Like you control like the nature of
That's
your
what I mean.
RNG, right?
Hearthstone is very, very shallow in that sense. There's very little to mitigate the RNG.
That's what I mean. It's the mitigating of the RNG that like games like Yu-Gi-Oh and Hearts and MTG.
That's why I keep relating it back to poker, where it's like you have chips that you're playing with, and you're like, all right, well, right now my RNG is pretty shit. I'm not gonna invest big on this hand. I'm gonna wait till I get, and that's how you mitigate the RNG in poker, right? Because you have massive hands to play with, like potentially millions of dollars. With Hearthstone, even if it's a best of 7, you're like, fuck, I got screwed by RNG 4 times.
Mulligan saved me.
You know, like.
But like I think like for
What
me
have
when I
you
think
got
about MTG, like MTG is like you set up your deck, but before you even go in, you set up the deck knowing that you can set up and mitigate the RNG by
And the matches are much more expansive in Magic the Gathering. Like the match will happen for a lot longer. There's your decisions aren't as like, oh crap, now I'm screwed. Like
the match is much shorter than Hearthstone. Depending on the format, but generally they're much shorter.
in a
I'm
tournament.
not talking about the match length. I'm talking about like your spread, like the options available to you and how much you can.
Yeah, well, that's
like-
that's what the shallowness came through.
That's
MTG
what I'm-
has
In any
like
of these games, you know the angles you can be attacked on, what bases you can be attacked on, and it's up to you to decide when you're building your deck. Yeah, pretty much. It's up to you to decide when you're building your deck, like how you want to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So
all right, so we'll go with my
Drekkonis' number 1 moment.
number three.
my number 3 would have to be Gaming Paradise.
No, come on, that was my number 1.
No, that's my
I
number
knew that was
3.
gonna happen. Damn it.
Okay, you know what? I'll save. That's why I made
No,
extras.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Go
I have
ahead.
extras though.
Give 'em
I'll
one.
use one of your extras. Don't worry about it. just go with it. Go with Gaming Paradise for now.
Gaming Paradise is definitely my number 3 because it was one of those. I was excited about the concept of Gaming Paradise. I like the idea. I was like, this is a a really awesome
I
concept.
remember you were tickled.
I was, because I was like, the idea of a tournament done differently just really excites me. And being on an island is, or not, I don't know if it was an island, but just a resort.
It's just the fact that it was like an esports week where you're like, you know what?
Well,
you're
we
like,
talked about this. We were like, I would go if I knew about it ahead of time and I had money to save up. I would have gone. Like,
it didn't even seem that expensive, all things considered. It was just like it's no more expensive than a week at like a resort.
where was it again?
In Cuba.
Kuala Lumpur.
No, it was like
Slovenia.
it was like Slovenia or Croatia or something like that.
That might have worried me a little bit because I don't know where.
Well, that was the least of your worries, all things considered. But no, it sounded like a lot of fun. You just go to this like all-inclusive resort. You like eat, sleep, and like Dota or CS:GO or whatever you're there for a week. It's like
It's legit. Like to me, it was a great event concept. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's sad because I think the concept is ruined.
no.
I think it's ruined
I don't
with Gaming Paradise and then like Maldives following up on it.
Maldives was fine. I mean, it was shit, but it was fine.
You can have eyes rolling next time someone says, "Hey, we're gonna go on this island." Everyone come out. And,
That's what I
another
mean.
one of
Like
these.
that's why I feel like
Right?
it's now
you can do
it's-
it correctly, but it's
Yeah.
It's so hard now for someone's gonna be like, I'm putting a tournament on the island, and someone's gonna be like, oh my God, Gaming Paradise,
Yeah.
or Willy Wonka, or something
Yeah,
like that.
but I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like these
I
things.
feel like it's ruined. I feel like it's so ruined.
I feel like it has a reputation to be rebuilt. If the organizer for Gaming Paradise tries to do anything ever again, it won't go well.
Didn't
but
he just announce that he wasn't paying out? Was it like Gaming Paradise or Maldives?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're bankrupt. See ya.
I love that team
He's
was like,
bye. Everybody's like, bruh.
he's like, I'm done here, boys. Tournament, rip.
Oh man, where's the?
But the thing is, like,
where's the AIDS medication?
I was debating whether to put him on my list. He was my backup.
Oh.
But
he's close to be on my list.
He's on my list for sure. He's number 2.
I'll leave him alone then. What do you think about it though? I love the idea. I wanted to go. So I'm gonna put Gaming Paradise on my number 3 because
Alright.
I would have gone to Gaming Paradise if it wasn't.
I would have gone for sure. I would have been horribly disappointed, but I would have gone.
Well, no, but could you really be disappointed? Like if you had your room already paid for, like you probably wouldn't have gotten the full experience, but you'd already been in an island with sun,
Yeah, but
sand.
there's nothing to do there other than
biddies.
esports.
Now we're talking. Simon, where's my ticket?
Slovenia, and
Maybe I would have been stranded with Toby. Not so bad, I guess.
yeah, well, you could have hit him up and just been like, let's talk
What are you
Dota.
doing here? Chill.
It's funny you're here. I was in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I came here for Dota too.
We're all here for Dota. None. All right. Do you want to do your number 2?
My number 2, now that the sequence has been altered, is definitely the Leviathan CEO being reamed out on Reddit for raising the price of his proprietary medication.
Oh. What's his name? Martin Spinelli or
Yeah,
Spinelli?
Schiffelli or something like that, and then he got arrested
Yeah,
too.
recently.
which is
That was so
hilarious.
funny. They just got like. I watched it all on Reddit when he got arrested.
Oh
Everyone
my.
on Reddit was like, yeah! And he's
Like,
like,
it's
got out
like-
on bail.
It's just hilarious that like this guy is like screwing over thousands of people with raising the price of this medication. He's literally like condemning lives. But Reddit's like, he owns an esports team. That's how we'll get him. It's like it's like, do you guys really think that he cares about his like crappy esports team?
His
He
toys.
doesn't even know what they're called probably. Like
It's so funny because that's probably the attitude where he is just like, what?
What?
I want a team?
yeah,
Call them up.
Yeah.
Bring them
And,
here.
and people are upset about it, like, so people are talking about them. Good. Like, that's, it's like, he actually, like, you could not persuade him with, like,
To care anymore
about like, this team will not drive him to make any kind of decision.
It wasn't obviously the main thing that was hurting his wallet at that time.
Oh my god. Not
It's
even
funny
close.
how they were like, oh, let's get him through his esports team, and he's like,
I can imagine the legal fees in changing the price of that medication is probably more than the entire team's budget for a year. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that it cost him more in lawyers to change the price of that medication
He had like
than he spends on that team in a year.
he had a full swath though, like a full like roster. Didn't he? He has Dota and a League of Legends team.
Leviathan, yeah, they're a North American Dota team. It's not.
The thing is just
They were just at WCA.
with like, do they still fly under his flag? Is that like a thing?
Under
or
Leviathan, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if he still owns the team or whatever, but they're still called Leviathan.
that was one of those things that was a questionable thing. It's like, I think we brought up on the show, it's like, should we like hold them accountable for their master? And obviously, we came down to like, obviously.
What about all the other medications that his companies provide or whatever? Should we like, I'd rather die than take any of his medications. Like, what?
Isn't that the option though? It's like,
what?
You don't want to support him, so you just.
Who's supporting him? He's supporting you. He's giving you medication. Like. Anyway.
So
Don't get me wrong. I'm all about put your money where your mouth is, but like.
That's the Reddit mentality. Let's take them down.
I was just like, look, this guy's clearly done something horrible. You guys are taking the wrong approach to it, though. Like, attacking his esports team is not gonna do anything. If anything, this is the most attention they've got ever. Like, this is great for his esports team.
It's like it's hilarious. I always wondered though, because when he got out like on bail, right? Because
Naturally.
I guess it was like fraud is what he's being charged for. It's like
Something or another.
But it's one of those things that's funny. He just flaunts his power. And he really like. I wondered if he actually got caught for fraud, or if somebody on the internet was just like super butthurt and they're like, "We'll just dig this up."
That's it.
And the authorities are gonna find out this.
He makes himself an easy target. He keeps coming out saying douchey shit.
Well, it's because he's just
Like-
mocking. He's mocking the internet, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, "I have a lot of money. What can you do?"
Yeah.
And it's like poking like the ant's nest, right? And the ants are just scrolling under their nest. He's like, what are you gonna do?
Somebody was like, stop poking the ants. He's like, for a while.
And then they just swarm over him. And just drag him into the police office.
Oh.
Bear, you're number 2.
Well, like, I wasn't given criteria. My number 2 is IEM Toronto. Just because it was a great experience just for me to see it live and be there.
Really, I hear Drekken loved it too.
I heard that too.
Wait, IEM or WSCS? Which
I'm
one?
sorry, WCS Toronto. IEM Toronto was last year. Yeah.
And that was
WCS Toronto. Yeah.
Terrible event.
I mean,
as far as StarCraft events go, terrible.
no, come on. Explain what you did not like about it, because when we talked, it came down to
immersion.
immersion. Like, what did you want them to do?
Did you not see the setup though? Okay, first of all, it was the hall we had.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're watching, take notes.
Obviously, now if you're an event organizer, it's all about the flow of the event. You have the WCS stage, which is beautiful, by the way. Really good stage, loved it. Chabra, perfect host, really good. But then you have the siding booth, which was sort of pushed in the corner, and you had Hearthstone kind of tucked away in, and then there's no merchandise, there was no, nothing for me to
They had merch.
buy.
Drekken wanted his merchandise.
I wanted merch.
They had merch.
What merch? No,
Next
they
to
didn't
the
have
food.
merch. There wasn't merch.
They did.
What did they have to
They had,
buy?
like, a
What did
stuffed
they buy?
T-shirts,
Apple.
hats, and they were giving away those clapper things.
That I saw. The clapper things I saw, they were giving
Then they had
away
a booth
clappers.
where you can sign up for Legacy of the Void beta.
Bring up some merch. Let's see some merch on screen. Some StarCraft merch. Let's do a quick examination. Was it at WCS or not?
They're maybe.
I have a WCS Season 2 shirt. I have multiple Thundersticks.
Thundersticks are not merch. I want to point that
That's
out.
not
But
He wanted like a stuffed Diablo or something like that. That's
A Raynar, like a bobblehead for
Yeah.
Raynar, or I don't know.
It was all WCS gear, but it was like hats, T-shirts.
You know what? I want a
Huck
Huck shirt. Where's my Huck shirt? Why can't I buy some Huck shirts? Huck was who I was cheering for.
maybe there's a website.
They're like that.
Huck.ca.
I hope so. First, number one, or Scarlet. I don't know. But overall, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Either. Why did you like it?
Yeah, that's a good.
That's what we're
that's
here
a
to
good
talk
place to
about.
start.
It's his moment, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
But I
as
gotta
a fan, I mean, that's like my favorite game to watch. Seeing all those players in.
That was
building.
Hearthstone.
Did you get
No,
to meet
Hearthstone.
any of them?
Had I been more outgoing and walked up to them, I could have met them. I just
Rip.
when I see famous people, I never I don't want to approach them because I don't know
Yeah,
what
well,
they're
you
like.
and the rest of Reddit.
Right? I don't let them have their own thing.
Oh.
Let them live life.
You paid to go there.
But what am I gonna get out of it by saying take a picture with me?
Yes.
No, you just want to meet them. You know how you.
If I want to meet them, I have something
That's
to
some
say.
strategy. Be like.
If I have something to say.
1997, you played this build.
I mean, their
Why
level
did you do that?
strategy is things I cannot execute. So I can't go to.
I don't know. What about they're
Yeah,
just
good.
people? Couldn't you just talk to them?
Did you?
It's not that I'm scared. It's just I have nothing to say. I'm not
How
gonna
about
interrupt
hello?
someone going about their day. They're practicing.
idolize somebody. I have nothing to say to them.
I don't know.
No, I don't idolize. That's
Okay, I don't know. I respect the lack of idolizing. There's some people who are like, oh my god, MMA came close to me. snap a picture of
No,
his back as
no,
he's
no.
walking past.
Wasn't he the one that he said he got to see all his heroes? I was so confused now.
That's all my favorite players. Favorite players.
Sure.
Yeah. I just like just watching it all and having all that high level games. So
I don't know, I
somewhere
like
I
to
can
be
just
an
take
active-
this somebody got to.
I like to be an active participant in like an event. I like to be
But what do you want them to do?
Engaged.
engaged. I do like to be engaged.
Have you in the players booth?
That'd be nice.
You know what? No,
VIP
Trekking
ticket?
round of 32.
no. Here we go. Here we go.
VIP ticket.
Here's the ideas. Give VIP
That's it,
ticket.
now the juices are flowing.
Here it goes.
What are you gonna do with the
Absol-
VIP ticket?
Get behind the
Gonna
scenes.
get in
I
the
want to
players'
get
booth,
get in
obviously.
the players' booth. You
These
know,
guys are like they're
sit in the
practicing,
players'
trying to get in the
VIP.
zone, and you're.
that's what I paid for it.
I paid $150. How are you doing? Can we get a selfie quick? Can you tweet it? I'm gonna tweet it.
No,
You
no,
read
so
it.
honestly, there's lots we saw some cool stuff like VIP tickets. The recent Dota event got you like
Dinner.
a seat at a dinner table.
Yeah.
Some of your favorite players. I mean, hey, that sounds like a
To
good
me, it's
time.
all about the experience. Like it's like the memories you come away with. Like I think if I want to be just a passive participant, that's why I have the live stream. I can just watch all of it on the stream. Why?
Listen, if
why
you
even
want to
go?
be a millionaire, right? You want to see the Donald Trump stable. Like, there's no.
There it is.
That's
The Donald Trump of esports.
you know.
That toupee.
They made TV shows about this. The Apprentice. People like fought tooth and nail to get like a seat beside their millionaire heroes. Like.
To me, that's something like I don't know. Like for IM was a lot better because you could get behind, you know, and you can meet the players and talk to them.
That's what the signing booth was. The signing booth was right
No,
where
I,
the players
don't
are
get me wrong.
practicing.
I don't want pictures or autographs, but I want to meet these
I
people.
wanna
wanna
talk
know
to
what
them.
make-
I wanna, you
what
know.
makes them tick.
They're-
you know, like,
What makes them tick?
yeah.
When I went to IM New York, I went to had dinner with like Snoop and all that, right? It's
Yeah.
not because like
You know, maybe get them to review a replay for me. Stuff like
well,
that.
that's a little intense. You like pull it out of your phone.
It plugs into your
What
computer.
could I have done better here?
That's a little intense,
No,
but
no.
you know,
Obviously.
I was.
Obviously, but no, it'd be cool.
Snoop
to
was lost
talk
in New
to
York,
them.
and I was like, "Hey, you know, we'll help you find people." And we went and traveled in New York. And that was to me a fun adventure, right? But that only happened because I met him behind the booth, like you.
But they're all around. Like if that was your intention to go meet these people, see what they're about.
That was half of it, like the dinners.
They're all there, right? Like they're not gonna sit behind and practice all day. So it was just having all of that in a
The Koreans
building,
do.
something close to home that I could go to. The Red Bull Battlegrounds.
That
Icon
was a good event.
Hey,
super
hey,
fun to
one
watch.
moment at a time. Easy
True,
there.
sorry.
Slow down.
That was all WCS Toronto. That was
Oh, it
in the
was?
same building. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
the
missed that.
Archon thing.
The Archon mode. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought he was talking about.
But I was talking originally about the Red Bull
I thought
Detroit.
It was, yeah, that's the same.
That was a real event. But
That Red Bull.
there was like you're like, can I get some water?
You're
like,
even morally opposed to Red Bull.
I am because I had to.
Still enjoyed the event.
They're like, I'm like, can I get some water? They're like, Red Bull flavored water? You're like, how will I hydrate? They're like,
You're like,
drink this.
drink this Red Bull and fill the can with water.
You're like, oh. There was so much Red Bull.
Ooh.
It was so ridiculous amount of Red Bull. Alright, so. Oh, is that what it's like the Battleground
Red Bull
t-shirt?
Battleground. That's from the pub stomp, isn't it?
I don't know, wrecked.
Yeah, from the Dota. It was
Yeah.
fun.
I like the Battleground events. They were legit events. So that was your number 2?
That was number 2.
Drekkonis
This is-
number 2.
My number 2?
Don't do it. I know.
I'm carrying my work to choose another one now. I'm gonna say.
Give your number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is the Pokemon convention. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh.
The Pokemon where the guys got caught.
Oh.
Where the guys got caught with the guns and.
What?
I don't know if you know. So these 2 guys were going to. They announced on Twitter. I want to say it's Twitter. That was it. Facebook. That they were going to go to a Pokemon tournament and shoot up the competition.
Killing the competition.
Killing the competition. And they legit went to the tournament with 2. I want to say like
Assault rifles.
Assault
They were
rifles.
assault rifles.
Yeah, went with assault rifles,
Yeah, those guys
And-
look pretty serious.
and they got caught naturally, right? So to me, it was the concept of I can't remember. I think it's the older one kind of convinced the younger one to like follow into this scheme. And
Yeah,
the
it was
second-
like 28 and like 16. It was a
yeah, it was such a
crazy
huge
age.
difference in the age. So you obviously convinced this guy to be his minion, and what I could never wrap my head around, I still can't, is like why did he announce it? Like what was the purpose of telling people what you're like? I'm glad he did, obviously, because that would have ended really badly. But
I don't know if the intent was there, because I remember this story. I don't remember if the intent was there.
But he had a real gun. So
nonetheless, they're kids with assault rifles in the trunk of their car. Yes, they needed to be stopped. I don't know what their intent was. Like,
but
you can't just walk into that convention center blazing with the
you don't walk in blazing. You walk in.
So hold on, how would you do, Draken?
What's
He's showing us.
I actually thought
you
about
do
it.
it like this, you know. You
Wow,
obviously.
I would do it like this.
But why is that your favorite or your second favorite esports?
I think it was just weird. To me, it was one of my second favorite because it was just weird concept or crossover of just in the time we were talking about gun control and the damages that it's necessary, and then it brought it into our world and kind of made it kind of real for everybody. I think is because people are like, oh, you know, another shooting, this and this and this, and I don't remember if it was like Pokemon the card game or if it was Pokemon the.
They were playing the card game.
But I think the World Championship was happening there too, wasn't it? Or was it just
some major?
It was a stop for the circuit, and they had both video.
Yeah, so it was a video game. And
Yeah, they had the video game.
But it was also so really juxtaposed because you think of Pokemon as like a child's, like probably younger than Smash Bros. Crowd.
Pokemon's not a serious game.
Yeah, what do you
I actually think Pokemon is incredibly serious, but that's like Pokemon as a
You're on
whole.
camera right now.
No. Actually, I give more respect to Pokemon than I give Hearthstone. To be brutally honest.
For that one.
What?
I set you up for that one.
It's just, I give Pokemon. I try to do competitively, and it's the depth that you have to think about your Pokemon raising is just it's a bit beyond what I'm ready to commit to.
And it's that it's not like Blizzard depth. This is like real depth because Blizzard's just like, we're gonna give you guys depth. You can buy all these different cards. Whereas like with Pokemon, there's like limited Pokemon, but you develop them all so differently, and there's like tiny variants in all of them.
Absolutely.
Like,
so minute, like you raise your Pokemon in the sun versus moving it onto the bed.
But the game seems so simple up front, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing though. So like
it's kind of like Street Fighter. It's like it just seems so
simple up front, but
there's
very
such tiny, minute details that make such a big difference. Unlike Hearthstone.
I love what you say with his big face. But yeah, anyways, when I think about Pokemon from an onset, you think of it as a very younger demographic kind of game, and then you have the concept of guns and like mass shootings being introduced, and you say to yourself, you know, is it like this problem is bigger than maybe I even perceived, or the United States just in this really bad spot when Pokemon tournaments can get shot or get close to shot up, and
I don't know. Pokemon's always been a violent community, though. I mean, I remember kids used to stab each other over the trade.
The cards, oh my god! You know what? I used to. Those were my darker days. Like I used to.
You used to stab kids over.
No, I used to swindle them, right?
You used to hustle
I
kids.
was
like you. You guys took all my cards.
I used to hustle. I used to hustle them. I was like, yo, this Charizard, man. I only need 4 of these cards. But look. You know what? Just these cards. You don't even need a Breloom. What do you need? You know what? I'll take these, and here's a nice shiny Charizard. And you know mine well. The value of the Charizard is nothing. With these cards, you can make a good a bill off of those.
Did you ever use don't worry, my uncle works at Nintendo. I'll get you 5 more tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll bring them in. He works at Nintendo.
I used to use all sorts of things. I used to be like the shiny ones. The shiny ones were worth 10 little kids' cards. And you go through their decks. The best thing is let me just see your deck. And you just shuffle through. You're like, oh, you know what? Nothing good in here. But I want him. I'll take another look. You know what? I can do with this. Oh, one of these? Here's your Charizard, kid. Thanks! You're like, whoo! eBay, here I come!
Make it rain.
You know how much lunch I got off of that?
Yeah.
Heard it here
Kids gotta
first.
eat.
Pokemon cards were worth something back then.
Still are.
Are they?
Still value.
See,
You're just talking about your favorite moment being a Pokemon card game. There's still a meta. There's still.
No, he was talking about the Pokemon convention not being shut up.
Yeah, that was.
But it's still an active thing, right?
Sure.
So
the TCG.
I don't know, man. I missed the original 151 back then. Pokemon was simple, you know.
That's why I think though the depth of it really comes to this interesting where I think I question. I always wondered is it more just throwing more characters in is the thing to do.
Oh, dude.
You know, that's what a lot of the
It's
mobiles are
not at a
doing.
good rate.
What?
That's what
It's not
Street
a good
Fighter's
rate.
doing too. It gets me really confused. They keep adding these characters. It's like, who's the next?
But they
character
removed
gonna
them
be?
though. Like think of it as Street Fighter 5 has like 6, or they have like 8 characters, right? As opposed to
20.
wait, Street Fighter 5 doesn't have 20 characters.
It has 16 right now, and they're gonna add more.
Oh, okay. Well, them
But
DLCs.
Even then, that's really not that many compared to
Yeah.
a lot of fighting games
Oh.
out there, and still like
Mortal Kombat has like 50 characters.
Yeah, and Street Fighter still is like rather true to its roots, where the characters are all relatively like closely balanced. It's not
And they
like
have very similar moves too. They don't really vary from like the
right,
moves.
but they are like minute frame differences, right? They're all
Absolutely.
and so I really like the way that Street Fighter, at least I don't know, I haven't experienced Street Fighter 5, so I won't speak on that, but like it's a very well designed fighting game in my opinion.
I think that's, and to me, I think that's really what makes the difference between like.
If the community wasn't shit, it could be a real esport.
Oh shit! I'm not gonna question that. I don't know, but that's what I think really what makes a good esport. I think that was my favorite like event or thing that we always talk about was like what makes an esport, right? That what makes an esport, and I always like that depth. I always figured depth, and I don't remember what we came to, but I always like.
Well,
depth
it
that made
was obviously skill. There's a huge
Skill?
skill component,
Yeah.
right? Like
The better player has to win more often than the worst player.
Oh, yeah, we talked about Hearthstone's win rate.
I don't know, man. Like in all the esports that I consider real esports, the better player will win like 9.9 times out of 10. Whereas
I never actually, the question is I never knew if that was like that from a business point of view that's bad, but from like an audience point of view that might be exciting.
from a business point of view, it's I agree, it's not the greatest because it doesn't make for an excitable matchup when the result is predictable.
Well, for a business point of view, I mean like you can't guarantee your player that you've endorsed or sponsored or whatever will make it up to that main stage because it's so
Yeah, and it hurts
scattered,
everything. It hurts
random.
the gambling. It hurts the whole
Oh, someone better say
The whole-
gambling.
the whole
They did
the
it,
whole
but it was-
ecosystem is suffers a little bit from the game being too skill heavy.
Would you say WoW is a skill-based game?
What?
WoW.
WoW is
like,
you mean like arenas, like PvP?
yeah, like
It used to be. It really used to be.
'cause I know you play WoW, so I didn't know if it was considered like a skill-based, but never made it as an esport. Like MLG ran to the hills with that, and everyone forgot about
They
it.
did well for a while. They had a really good run. I think that Blizzard kind of ruined the PvP scene, and that's when like PvP competitively for WoW died. But like even though the builds and like the compositions were kind of cookie cutter, you'd have like your rogue mage priest kind of like standard compositions. It was very very skill based. It was very much
Really, I would never. Have
It was you had a handful of abilities. You knew exactly what they did, but you had to like as a team outplay your
Couldn't
opponent.
you just buy your way up and buy a high-level account and just?
Well, not in competitive PvP. Everybody had the same gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You could customize it your own way, but everybody had the same set of
Oh,
options.
I didn't know
Like,
that.
Yeah, everybody had the same gladiator gear, right? It was like PvP gear, especially at like the MLG events, stuff like that. Everybody would
That
have.
sounds actually kind of. I always assumed
You
you just
have-
came into whatever you.
No. You have access to the same equipment, but you could like enchant it or like.
See, that's to me. That's
Forge
always
it,
what makes
like-
it like an esport, like or like a good competitive game is that the opportunities
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you don't need mom's visa to win.
That's what I mean. Like the opportunities. I don't know why, but my head just was like.
It's yeah. Hearthstone is a good example. League of Legends. There's
But I mean, the concept is that when you start the game, the playing field should be even, or it should be like zero, and the skill of the player should
right,
matter.
and give you room to cut. And that was WoW. You could enchant your gear differently. You could gem it differently. Like
Oh, was it like a timed position, and you had time to?
no, beforehand, right?
Oh, okay.
But that kind of, but then beyond that, it was pretty much all skill based. You knew exactly what tools the opponent had available to them. You didn't know how they had customized all their shit, but nonetheless, it was pretty much entirely skill based. And it was like you had to sync up your crowd controls and your silences and your nukes and all of your damage and like your proper kiting and like anticipate certain moves or abilities. Like it very very much skill based, and that kind of faded. They made it a lot more like cheesy and just kind of like, oh well, you got lucky with like a triple proc and GG.
So let's go to your number one. What's your number one 2015 esport moment?
Hands down, Universe $6 million Echo Slam.
Ugh, it's a disaster.
We were at Shoeless Joe's watching it live. It was I remember the moment crystal clear because CDC had just ganked Sumail. They were like, oh shit, like we just killed the enemy mid laner. Like we're in a
Have
great-
all your things been Dota, by the way?
No, I had
Yes, that's fine.
well, I guess technically, what's his name, Skeffy or whatever.
Martin Shirmelli.
That was just more like Reddit up in arms over like some random thing, and it was just like a great moment that.
It's a disaster.
But I remember
now?
at Chulas Joe's, yeah, that's what we're watching now. CDC just ganked Sumail. They were like, oh shit, we just took out like most important player on the enemy team. Like, we got this going to the Roche pit, get ourselves an Aegis, and like this is, oh man, I could just watch this over and over again because like the Ice Blast, the Echo Slam, the 4-man, like the Phantom Lancer barely makes it out, but it doesn't even matter. They just like
It's a disaster.
they just like
Was that Toby's voice who made that,
yeah,
or did
yeah,
the...
it was Toby. They just took a giant crap all over CDEC, and it wasn't even like a bleed blue thing. It was just how it all happened and like the overconfidence. Because like I remember watching that, I was so amazed that like CDC just went into the Roche pit. They didn't lay down any vision. They didn't have any sentries. They left themselves totally exposed. And EG was like, you know what, we might be down, and it might seem like we're on the back foot here because our Storm Spirit just died and we don't have him. But like it doesn't matter. Like this, they saw the opportunity to just deliver the fatal blow and take home the 6 million right then and there. And like so many other teams would have been more reserved.
They would have
or, like,
probably been scared.
They would have been a little bit more scared. They were like, you know what, they're ahead. We're down one. We can't just take a head-on fight. But EG, they just saw the opportunity. $6 million on the line. It's not something that you.
What was
you
the
take
score
lightly.
though? What was it? Weren't they up?
That was that game. It was 2-1, and CDC were ahead, so they were looking to tie it up 2-2. So technically, even if EG lost this one, then it would go to match point again. But still, I mean, any way you slice it, then you're leaving it up to one game. It's basically a best of one for $6 million if you lose this one. So for them to just go all in on a play like that, but they had the confidence, they had the knowledge, they had the awareness, and they caught CDC snoozing just a little bit because they didn't set up any vision, anything to kind of keep themselves protected while they're all huddled in the Roche pit. And I just remember being at Chulas Joe's, the place was packed, everybody went crazy, Toby like blowing out the sound system. Like it was.
Streetlight says no team wouldn't have gone with the vision that AA gave. I don't know what that means, but.
Oh, basically what he's saying is AA Ulti scouted the fact that they were all in the Roche pit. Like it made it very easy for EG to make that play happen, and that's what I was saying. Like CDC, they didn't protect themselves at all. They didn't.
Well, you think that was arrogance?
Yeah, they were like that's what I mean. They were like, oh, we killed like Sumail's dead. Like their wonder child, their star player's down. Like
The genius is dead. Let us go.
Like
Like-
we got this. Like no problem. And then it was just like rug from right out of her.
No, $6 million.
$6 million.
$6 million gone like that.
That's it. It seems like the internationals keep coming down to this. We had like the $1 million dream coils from S4. You remember TI3 when we were at Cheeseworks, and that final game came down to S4 just canceling teleports so that Na'Vi couldn't defend their base. It was like,
Was that the one that? Was that who won that T3? Was it Alliance?
Alliance.
Yeah, it was Alliance.
Yeah, it was another one of those moments where it's just like these, like individual or two people plays like at the clutch moments that just.
I think when a lot of money is on the line, people make like decisions they may never have made in
It really shows you people like how they handle pressure and their reaction, and just what a pro player actually is like. Having that clairvoyance to just make
literally
it happen.
clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Bear, what's your number one esports moment?
The release
Jeez,
of the release of Legacy of the Void.
That's your number one esports moment?
Yeah.
Why?
I know you said top three
Like
things.
a-
No.
Like a
I'm not.
resurrection?
It's your moment. Whatever.
Well, the fact that it was released. Yeah, Breath of Life. I mean, it shook up the meta a bit. Well, entirely.
I think like Legacy of the Void is like easily the best iteration they've ever done. I just like, to me, when I see Legacy of the Void, I wonder what Blizzard's been doing this entire time. Sometimes.
Like it got me really interested. I don't know what the future StarCraft looks like.
Not like Brood War. There was never like a better patch for.
No, it's Legacy of the Void is like it feels like the spiritual successor to Brood War, in my opinion. It feels like a game that is
Return of the King.
well, that's what I mean, right? But it feels like it's almost a little bit late because people are.
They've already given
Yeah,
up.
people have already given up, but
But to watch it, like I don't know if you didn't watch Land War, did you? No, you were.
I didn't watch Land War. No,
Man.
But I've been watching the what's been going on lately. And
I watched like
Fun game.
Land War, Masa versus Huck. I like lost my mind. Like I never. It was to me. It really screamed what StarCraft was about. Watching that match
Yeah.
because I saw for the first time in such a very long time, like the dance and the pull of StarCraft. It
Yeah.
wasn't about building my death ball versus your death ball and let's clash these death balls together
Yeah.
and see who comes out at the end.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought you'd be all about clashing.
We'll talk about that in the NET After Dark.
And he bootleg.
No, but it was I watched Huck mind game Masa, and Masa was just like, okay, I'm gonna kind of, this is obviously not gonna work here, and try to drop on you, but Huck was like one step ahead, and it was just even the adept play he had where he had to think 2 steps ahead, and it was just the small units that made the difference. It was just these small moments that really changed the tide in each battle. And I think that when watching that game played under, even at the highest levels, like I think it was BlizzCon with the whole disruptors, the orbs that explode,
yeah.
with the stalkers,
Yeah.
the way that they had to think 2 steps to
Yeah.
make sure they didn't screw up or land on the wrong balls. I think it just is such a solid game.
Yeah, I think Legacy of the Void just it made it fun again for me, right? It's made it fun as a viewer, made it fun as a player.
I tell people I played more Legacy of the Void than I played of all StarCraft 2 combined.
I mean, and the WCS changes coming up in the new year. I mean, it's kind of it follows with Legacy of the Void, and I think
Are
the
you
game's
excited
gonna be much
for that?
better. I'm very excited about it. I think it'll make the
You're the
scene
only
better in the new year. At first I was just as
You
upset as everyone.
got a knee-jerk reaction.
I
You
read it and I
reaction.
just I think it was in part I just read Richard Lewis's thing top to bottom.
That was your problem.
top to bottom, and he kind of had that arrogant, salty tone to it, and then I guess I was picking up on that, and it was the way it was presented. It was like, oh, and you're not gonna get this, and now you're not gonna get this, and now you're not gonna get this. Remember when you had this?
It
Now
was
it's
presented that way.
It was just the way it was presented. Then I read the official Blizzard.
It was just such a
As
Reddit
is.
circle jerk, or oh my god.
Yeah. Once I read the Blizzard thing,
He's
just
just
as is,
like,
vanilla.
Reddit, why aren't you up in arms about this?
The Blizzard, I think Blizzard actually painted it in a very positive way,
No.
right? I think that they were. There's some things that they do really wrong, but there's some things they do right. I think the way they communicated, and I feel like after that, I don't know if they read Richard Lewis's thing and they're like, okay, hold on, let's bring this back.
Easy.
Because when they presented it, it felt very. They were saying, okay, yes, this is why we made these decisions. This is the reasons. This is how it's going to benefit, and it was very much like, look, we learned from WCS 2015, 2014. We think we shouldn't be so hands-on. We're going to give the power to the community.
Yeah.
Here it is. And I like that approach. Like, it was like, here, you know what? Instead, we're going to give organizers a break. We'll pay for players to come out to the tournament.
Well, they were gonna pay for it anyways, right? So now they're just distributing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They
Like,
were
it's
gonna
a
pay to
lot
host the event and however they were gonna do it, and now they're
That's
just
what I
saying,
think, though.
here's our pool of money.
That's
You
what
guys
I mean.
can
That's what I
make it
really
better,
like
do
about it, because they were like, okay, when we had Premier, we would pay for those players to come out. So why don't we still pay for those players to come out, and the community runs the events?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
that's how I think the optimum situation is, where Blizzard's like, look, we did Premier, and they didn't want to say, it's like, cost us a lot of money,
Yeah.
probably didn't make any of that money back, so let's, let's just give that money to the community. People are like, oh, Korea, we're not going to have Korea. But people don't realize that Korea is just going to go where the money is. If they have to move to North America to get that money, they're going to go. Because B and C tier Koreans, they're not going to play in Korea. They'll
They're
starve
not
to
gonna
death.
survive, yeah.
Yeah, they'll starve to death. I went on Reddit on Twitter for the longest while to tell people, like, look, all the Koreans you love, they're going to come here. The GSL is the toughest tournament for a reason, because it's the toughest tournament.
Yeah.
The top GSL players, they don't play in North America. Why? Why would they play in North America? They don't need to do that. They win at GSL. So, the B and C tier players, just gonna move here. Jump on foreign teams, get the support, jump on EG. Like, EG, fill that roster. Like, come 2016, pick up a new, I don't know, is J-Don retired now?
He's like, he's the funniest. He just comes in and out. He'll come. If there's money, yeah, sure, I'll practice for this week.
Because that was the whole thing, because Katz made this huge thing because he's like, I wanted to invest into North America. He's like, I wanted to invest in my team house, but a team house for StarCraft doesn't make sense because all the competition is in Korea. So if you want a team house, you should be building a team house in Korea. And he's like, doesn't make, like, from a StarCraft point of view, it's bad for our infrastructure, because the reason why Korea StarCraft is so good is they have team houses with all their players, which they all can train from. So I really love the WCS changes this year.
This is kind of like their last way of hitting it.
You think so?
I think this is it. I think
like that's it. Siphon all the money to
This is their final form.
Yeah, I mean, if this is successful, then we can maybe see bigger and better things.
But this is their last shot at it.
I think this is their last shot.
So, so if this doesn't do well, we're done with StarCraft.
I think that StarCraft will always continue, but I think it'll fade like Warcraft.
That's what I mean. Whether it fades or not will be based off the performance of this. But I think we're right at the peak where some people are just jumping on board, just getting a little more popular because of the release. And then if we can be successful,
I think that this is exactly what a healthy esports scene needs, is like individual tournaments. Like, that was my thing. I think I remember we had a show where I said my favorite thing about individual tournaments is that you get like a different flavor from a tournament, like a home story cup, or like a summit. Like, it's not always the same style. You get people.
You just get innovation. Like, I mean, some of the best things that we've seen time and time again have come out of third-party organized or run events. And
absolutely.
Sometimes they even get integrated right into the client, or like these kind of developments that just push the whole scene forward. Because somebody out there is putting something together and they're thinking differently.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I was so sad about Gaming Paradise, because to me it's innovation. It's
Actually,
an innovation
that's one of the reasons that I was gonna name it as one of my favorite moments before you took it over, is because it was actually my favorite moment because it failed, because we learned something from it, because the scene as a whole, basically, like, from all that, like, players were like, oh, we need this, like, players union, like, team union, protect our rights. And while I think that was a bit extreme, like, it's just an extreme.
Was that a response?
Not directly, but it happened right after. So it's kind of like, okay, while you're not basically saying that these rules only apply to Gaming Paradise events, you're basically just trying to protect yourself so that something like this doesn't happen to you again.
Did it ever come out anything? Like, did anyone hear any?
No. It's just a learning experience. Like I said, it's a lot of backlash that happened to something that was really awful that happened in the industry, and so the teams decided that they need to protect themselves, and they reacted in such an extreme way, just equally extreme as how big of a failure Gaming Paradise was. But the point that I was making about Gaming Paradise is that, like, we all learned something, right? All the teams, all the managers, all the players learned that just don't take these things for granted yet. We're still a maturing scene. We're still growing. We're still developing, and there's a lot of people that are going to try and get into it right now, and that just can't back up what they're saying. That they can't put up what they're offering, and that what people are telling you isn't necessarily going to happen. So we all kind of need to mature and develop better systems and better screenings and better filters. If we want to be taken seriously, because otherwise this kind of shit's
I don't know. I find that as an industry, these people have been around like a lot. Like, it's not the first time a Gaming Paradise is just scooped in.
No, but we learned from it, right? Like,
what was
WCA just happened, and people still haven't gotten paid from the last one. So it's not like this is gonna stop happening. I'm not saying that, like, swindlers.
You know what? They should went to the Maldives. That's a real tournament.
That was a real tournament.
No, people got paid from that, though.
And, yeah, absolutely.
People got
paid FIFA. Maybe you could take up FIFA.
I'm not playing FIFA.
European?
No, I know.
Thing?
Italian blood won't get me very far.
All right, I guess
yeah. Well, I just want to say on the whole WCS thing before we, I guess, go off topic. What I like about it, like the overarching thing, is that yes, we're gonna have this innovation from all these individual streams or individual organizers, but they're not gonna take over. You're not gonna have to make the decision on Saturday morning when you're watching StarCraft. You're gonna watch the official stream, or we're gonna watch this, like, whoever's sponsoring this.
Oh my god, it's
right?
so much my favorite thing, is that WCS isn't taking over all the airwaves anymore.
Right. So now you sit down Saturday morning. You're like, okay, What's StarCraft? What WCS is on this weekend? Oh, this organizer's doing. Oh, Home Story Cup's this weekend. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. You chill back and you watch. You have a different experience every time.
And that's exactly it. Like,
Right, so
it's so much like Blizzard's like, okay, you know what? Organizers can have the weekends again because it was like every weekend was WCS like when you're organizer, you're like, oh my gosh, is my tournament that I've been planning for weeks gonna get crapped on all over because WCS Premier just happened on this weekend? And as an organizer, you're just so afraid. You're like, why am I even investing? Like it's like because you never know when a WCS will just pop up on you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, so now
Or
we're getting,
GPAC.
now we're going to actually test new ideas, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
grand finale, drum roll. Drekkon's number one.
I just want to point out that a lot of people.
2050.
I want to point out that our Salil told us that this wasn't going to be too dark, but everyone keeps wondering why there's only 2 people on camera. The chat is just like, why are there only 2 people on camera? Why are there just a set of teeth? I just want to point out, Salil's like, oh, it'll be fine. It's not that dark.
I can see you.
Oh wow! Apparently, Twitch.
Get better
You know what? You just tell them, Drekken. Salil can see us, so they better shut up.
Why is there a floating Santa hat? It's just like,
I'm bobbing.
You're in front of a white wall. You're good. Don't worry.
oh my god!
Just
terrible.
smile. Give them some contrast.
Actually, so one of my number one, my favorite esport moment is Cineplex buying World Gaming.
That was a roller coaster. Oh man.
Cineplex buying World Gaming, I think.
We just got done talking about Gaming Paradise swindling everybody.
So,
And then Cineplex got swindled.
all their esports money. So, gaming.
eSports budget.
Cineplex buying World Gaming has to be one of my favorite esports moments of 2015 because it was one of the first thing was the reaction from Twitter, like of everybody in esports, like who? Who did they buy? What? What site?
What?
So it was one of these things where it was who they bought, how much they bought them for, and what they've done in 2015 since then. So
I remember when you had meetings with World Gaming before they were bought by Cineplex. We were talking about doing some work with them, and I was like, "Oh, what games do they do?" Show me. I went to their website, and I was just like, Madden and FIFA and NBA, and I was just like, "We can't do anything here. There's nothing here, Drekken. You sent me to an empty space." And then 2 weeks later, you're like, Cineplex bought them for like 15 million, and I'm like, what?
So it was one of those things where it was super interesting. It's one of my favorite stories because the price tag was, you're like, what did they buy? Like, what is it that was purchased? And you ask yourself, what is the plan? And, when it comes to Cineplex, obviously the idea is to fill these Cineplexes with esports and
You think somebody got fired over this? I think.
You think so? I think so, maybe.
Somebody.
No, wait, no. I don't think someone got fired yet because it's not like it's only been a few months since the dust settled, right? It's only been.
Come on, guys, just give one more year.
No, but we should have like at least teasers or announcements.
I think they have a site going. I don't know if Salil can get up the.
They do?
Yeah, they have a site. Something happening on their site. And it's like
esports.cineplex.com.
It's a.
No. If it's not.
No, it's actually no. Yeah, it's esports.com/Cineplex.
Okay. eSports.com.
Cineplex.com/esports.
Okay, I was like, what? That's quite the domain to get. eSports.com.
And then I think another part I really liked about it was sort of what people were. Oh, is this? Oh, whoa.
I want to hear this. Bring it back. All right, look at that. I see some StarCraft.
Oh, is this? Wait, this is gone by. This is.
Yeah, they're just. This is
actually so go to worldgaming.com. I think that actually goes to Cineplex, like their esports stuff. So worldgaming.com I think leads to that. But even with that in mind, the price tag and then what the plan was, we came up to conclusions of what we thought they might do with it. Right?
Well, we hoped.
We had hoped. We begged. This
is what you should do. What you should do is just throw out everything you bought and start from scratch. But we made some ideas.
Yeah, well, we were like, we should be showing esports tournaments across the the scope. You have an infrastructure of like, hundreds of Cineplexes across the country. Get some real esports events. Have a circuit of WCS now can be plugged in across all of Canada like that. IEM, all of it in Canada, just all the way across the country with
But you
just.
buy a movie to watch to watch it on the big screen with a bunch of fans, like $7.99 or whatever.
Well, WWE, right? Don't people do that? They go to
Absolutely.
WWE and
people watch Game of Thrones in movie theaters, absolutely.
Do they? For like a premiere, right?
No, for every episode they have weekly screenings.
What?
Really?
No, I've never.
These things
purchased
happen
that.
all the time. People watch documentaries in the movie theater. You want to tell me they won't watch StarCraft?
But to
I
me,
watched
that
a
was
concert in a movie theater. That was
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
What? It was like live somewhere else. And I watched it in a movie theater.
Okay, well,
It's like,
I guess it was a concert like just too far to go.
Yeah.
it's like
Oh.
you're there, but no beer or.
Exactly.
But no, you have like the VIP experiences now in the Cineplexes with beer and that kind of stuff like that. So hopefully that to me the Cineplexes movie theaters represent the ultimate in like home entertainment, like quote unquote, like enjoying.
Except not at home.
And not at home, like the best kind of experience you can have. Popcorn food brought to you, beer, what?
Audio, video.
Video, like the best possible visual, like
seating, surround.
all that stuff. So to me, like that's an opportunity to watch some like quality esports. Take you away from the stream, like it's
Just
just
think about it. William Chobra, surround sound, big screen, hosting,
have it in your ear, right? And you're just like, oh my god, it's
red eye,
right, best form of entertainment.
flaming Toby on the panel on the big screen.
But what I think we're gonna get instead is tournaments where FIFA
Birthday parties.
We're gonna
parties.
get a FIFA birthday party circuit.
Oh my god!
That's
Did
what
we
we're
find?
gonna
Did
get.
we find the World Gaming site? Is that a thing?
Ponzi
The
scheme.
World Gaming site right now is basically their website as of like 5
Oh,
months ago.
never
There's
mind
nothing
then.
different about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Well, if you want to know what Cineplex bought, go to worldgaming.com. If you find it, let us know. We're still looking.
So, to me, it's like it was such a sensational headline. $15 million purchase, and you're like, what did you?
Like $15 million.
Where? And part of me is like, and everyone in esports and the higher echelon of esports is like, give me the $15 million.
This is what amazes me. Even for a TI5 or whatever viewing party, you're not gonna get Cineplex on board. I'm sure people have tried to get a viewing party in a Cineplex. They don't cooperate with these type of things. It's basically like a private viewing. You have to pay, and then you can't charge tickets because they've got their business models and all this kind of legal bureaucracy that you're just not gonna make your way around. So they're not really trying to do esports stuff, because if they were, then they'd be the premier viewing party.
They would tackle all these other little viewing parties.
They
right?
would just you've already got the infrastructure. What's one night of the week for you guys to show? You do rebroadcasts for people who can't do it. Frankfurt Major happened in Europe. Why don't you record it, stream it in North American time for people to watch? They don't do these kinds of things. They're not interested in that. They buy up this organization that does Madden. It's
Well, hopefully in 2016 we'll see what they bought. And
it's
what
true.
They did.
It's true. Benefit of the doubt. They haven't done anything with it yet. Not to say that they're not planning. They could come out with some.
They could come up with a whole plan that we didn't.
Didn't we read a plan from them though about something about a year, an annual, circuit?
Circuit. I think that's what I was looking for, hoping to find that site, because I'm pretty sure there's a site, unless they took it down because they were afraid this is not happening anymore. But they had a plan for a cross country circuit of NFL and whatever across for $20,000, or investing $20,000 in esports tournaments across the country. And
Sounds ridiculous.
it's
I don't think that there's actually anything wrong with hosting esports tournaments at a Cineplex. Technically, they have infrastructure. They've got rooms that you could set up computers. They've got theaters where people could spectate and all this kind of stuff. But
I think it's just a misconcept of
It's not-
you know what it is? I think it's just a misunderstanding of the business model of esports, in my opinion.
it's not a natural marriage, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's not.
It's instead of you should be locking up the content, producing the content what you're doing, instead of they're trying to, they think, and I could be totally wrong off the mark, but I feel like it's this thing where it's all right, let's do these amateur tournaments, put X amount of dollars, and we'll charge people to come play in our theater.
You said WWE, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure UFC, you get some viewings at Cineplex stuff.
I don't know why that concept is so difficult though. To me, it should be a no-brainer.
And then you
for them.
and then you just push that, right? You're just come watch, whether it's WCS or a major or a minor now for CS:GO or whatever.
You know, part of that could be too is they did the finals for IEM, I think, at the Cineplexes, and they maybe they thought that wasn't, profitable or. But to me, I just don't think people. Maybe I don't know. People just didn't know about it, or if
I
they
didn't
just.
know about it. So
I gave you tickets.
I know I am CS:GO. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, IEM CS:GO.
No, that was poorly advertised.
Yeah.
That was
well,
really
the only way I knew it was through the tickets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
about it otherwise, but. And then they had like a special thing for Cineplex by ESL. So
The thing is, with a lot of these, especially for Cineplex, you gotta get like down and dirty with the local communities. You can't just like put it in a newspaper.
Well, that's why
I
I said to some organizers, I'm like, why is no organizers of the viewing parties snuggling up to Cineplex? Like, look, you have these theaters, you want esports,
It's
give me a cut, and I'll go promote.
It's difficult. It's gotta be difficult. Like Cineplex don't do this kind of stuff normally, and then if you want to work with them, like branding, crossover, all that kind of stuff,
there's so much
they're
like
huge, right? They're
red tape
corporate,
for these
so
kind of things.
It's
so.
not easy. They're not privately run. It's not like you meet the manager and you're like, hey, you want to do something? He's like, I don't know, buy me a burger. Like it doesn't work that way, right? So.
Well, absolutely. So let's end this up.
Wrap it up.
Honorary mentions?
Honorary mention? No, you can't.
Feel
Alright, okay, so honorary mention. So Heroes of the Dorm was there. So Heroes of the Dorm was my honorary mention.
Yeah.
That was my only extra one.
That's it?
That's hilarious.
What was that? What?
The year of gambling was
Oh my
2015.
god, it was all about the gambling, Ukraine, and all
Just
that.
all the gambling stories
I
that came out of it.
hope we have so much more gambling in 2016. I look forward to.
It's funny that none of us even gamble.
No. No.
Oh,
Okay, wrap it up.
so let's go to this episode. So
That's our
that's our cue to end the episode. But guys, it's been. Still, go help the door. This will be in the VODs. Guys, it's been absolutely amazing. We'll probably start back up again January
5th.
5th.
What?
TM.
That's right around the corner.
6th.
No, okay.
6th?
What's the second week of January? We should probably give it a little bit of a break.
Well, anyway.
Oh,
I recognize that voice.
oh no.
So we'll start back up.
So we start up. So guests are already arriving. So we're gonna get a choice to end up wrap it up, and we'll start around January. When should we start, boys?
I don't know. Soon TM.
Soon TM.
Eventually TM.
No, I can give them an actual date. So
6th is the first Tuesday?
the 5th is the first Tuesday.
5th.
There
Sorry,
you
yeah,
go.
5th. Yeah.
The 5th is the
Jan-
first Tuesday.
January 5th.
So we will start back up the podcast on January 12th.
There you go.
There it is,
Awesome.
January 12th.
Decided. Any
Yep.
key exclusive.
Brought back in, and we'll have new guests for the show, and we'll do it. We'll do it all up. So, guys, until next time, I'm Drekkonis. Well, where can they find you? Quickly, let's
Come
do
on, dude, just go back and watch a previous episode. They'll
it. Where can they find you now on the internet?
At
Spell it
JoshOohAh.
spell it out.
Josh, OOHAH on Twitter, Instagram, and that's it. That's where I am.
What about you?
At Strygwyr, STRYGWYRD.
And I'm at
Twitter,
Drekkonis,
that's it.
Drekkonis.
You guys didn't all need to spell it just because I did.
No, we spell it every time. You just have
Every time. All right, so this is the oh my god, I forget it.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep searching for the NE key. Oh my god.